and welcome back to Dusty Book Sniffers. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole, and today we are here to talk about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So let's get into it. Good morning or good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here and you've yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it to all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my bookish uploads. And if you're a returning subscriber and you're back again, thank you so much for taking some more time out of your day. And to all of you, thank you for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I prattle on about the books that I have read. So today I am talking about Project Hail Mary. This was a group read with MJ from This Reading Life, and it is by Andy Weir, and it is a sci-fi. I know, I'm reading sci-fi. What is going on? All right, so for those that have been around for a while, probably know that I do not, it's not that I do not or will not read sci-fi. I just struggle with the genre. It's not because it's too scientific or anything like that. I just struggle with it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But I'm here to say that Andy Weir has changed that. I'm planning to read 2 more of his books. What? I know. This one, and I'd like to say congratulations to Andy Weir. Not that he's ever going to see my video, but congratulations to you. You made this girl read sci-fi and enjoy it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, my husband has been trying to get me to read sci-fi, dystopian, and all that sort of stuff that he's into for such a long time. And it's not that I've never read sci-fi, because I have. I've been in the truck with him, and inadvertently I've listened to books that he's been listening to, because he's an audiobook consumer, because he's in the truck all the time. He doesn't have time to sit down and read books. I don't either, but I sort of try to turn it into a job. I've worked it in somehow. But anyway, Andy Weir has really turned me around. So I went looking on my husband's Audible, and he has his other 2 books, which is Martian, and the other one starts with A. It would be in the front of this book, I'd say. Let me just have a look. Artemis, is that how you pronounce it? I'm not too sure. So anyway, I've got those 2 books on audio. So I don't know whether I'll purchase them, but I will listen to them. So we're here to talk about Project Hail Mary, and as I said, this was a group read, and I purchased the book so it'd make me read it because I was doing it with a group. So that was a good idea, I think, because if I had have just listened to it or I read it on Kindle or whatever, I think I may have put it down. Not because I wouldn't have liked it, it's just because I'm not used to reading sci-fi. But this one really got me sucked in from the get-go, because it just started out with what's his name, Ryland Grace waking up feeling all groggy, the computer asking him what's 2 + 2, and he's like, what's going on? And it turns out that he has been placed in an induced coma for space travel, and he is now coming out of that coma, and that induced coma, and he's trying to work out where he is, what he's doing, why he's there, and all that sort of stuff. So that's pretty much the premise of the story at the beginning, and he is on a mission to save Earth from a ice age. So in the beginning of the book, if I'm remembering it correctly, because I didn't take notes because I got sucked right into this story, and I didn't immediately take notes either after I read it, which I probably should have. So basically there is this thing called astrophase, and it basically is taking the energy from the sun, it's decreasing the heat from the earth, and it's going to put us into a ice age. Okay, so that is the premise of the book, and then subsequently the story is built around that, and they end up building the spaceship Hail Mary, called Project Hail Mary. They build that, they send 3 people into space, and and they've got to try to find essentially a cure for this astrophase eating, like it's taking all of the energy. So they have to find something that is going to remove it, so a predator, so to speak, to that astrophase. Once they find that, then basically they think that they're going to be all set. So that's what the whole story is premised around. So he's in space, not knowing why he's there. He's got brain mush from being in a induced coma for so long. He's not doing too crash hot, and it starts out where he's going. I've got tubes coming out of all sorts of places. I just love, and as usual, I do not critique an author's writing because I cannot write. I absolutely fell in love with the story, the way it paced, the humor that it was in it, the banter that was in it, the problem solving that was in it, the science that was in it. I absolutely loved everything about it. I have given it a 5-star rating, and I have asked people in the group if anybody has read anything else of his and if all his books were like this. A few people said that all his books are really good. I'm hoping that the next one that I'm going to read is The Martian, because that's, written down here. So I'm going to read that one or listen to that one and see if it's the same, if I've got the same opinion. So you'll have to keep an eye out for that review as well. But if you haven't read any sci-fi, or you would like to get into sci-fi, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Andy Weir is your guy. He is your guy. He is the one to go to. This is the one to start with. I highly recommend it. And I know that a few of my viewers actually do take me up on my recommendations. But for someone that does not read sci-fi and to fall in love with a book as much as I have, love is probably not the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use. I loved how it ended. I loved how it was all tied up, and the camaraderie, the problem solving, the staunchness of some of the characters, just everything. I just absolutely loved everything about it. Now, I haven't really talked about this much over in the group with MJ and everybody else that's reading it. I'm not too sure if they're all doing individual videos or not, but as they sort of come out, I will just add a playlist underneath here, and some of the people that I know are reading it, I will leave links to their channels as well, and so that way you can keep an eye out on it. But I will actually just create a playlist for this, and that way you can go and see what all their views, what their reviews are like and what they thought of it. I mean, not everybody's going to like it, but for someone that's not into sci-fi, who has struggled with the genre to get into it. I mean, I did pick up a sci-fi book that was a bingo prompt not too long ago, and I DNF'd it because I just couldn't get into it. It was just droned on. Whereas this, with the humor, he just seemed like a relatable guy. Like, he was just a guy that was super intelligent, but he was super down to earth, and he just come across that way on the pages. And and I'm going to say it again, I absolutely loved it. But that is my review. I'm not giving too much away on it. I'm just going to highly recommend it to you. And apparently the paperback hasn't come out in the US, so this must be for Australia and the UK. I'm not too sure, but everybody else's cover is a little bit different than mine. And yeah, so I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It's a 5-star rating from me. So if you want to get into sci-fi, pick this book up. You will thoroughly enjoy it. But that is it from me today. If you have made it this far and you have yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon to all notifications. And while you're there, don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well, because that helps me get seen on YouTube. And have a great day, everybody. Happy reading, and I will see you all again next time. Bye for now.